Here we are, we're live. It's on my Facebook page, Taifu, if you want to share it for your people to see. And I'll be right back to you. I'm going to introduce the show.
Okay. Oh.
So just hold on for a second while I'm trying to do 3 things at once. He'll be right back, you guys. I'll just start in the show and I'm sure he'll click right back in. I'd just like to welcome you to interview number 808. I'm Linda Marcus Smith, your host of the Comic Spot. Woo! You get to watch at home, and I get to be live, sort of virtually, for you to be home and be dressed. You can do whatever you like. Just do me a favor. Don't tell me, and I won't ask. I'd like to let you know that the Veterans of Comedy is behind 1,000% what I do. And so they're my sponsor. And anytime you're looking to have someone who has served our country also serve up jokes for your company, your organization, anytime, just go to theveteransofcomedy.com and pick out your favorite comedians, and hire them. You'll see me on there too, because I'm a proud veteran as well. And today, we have an amazing guest coming on to get to know. The whole point of Comic Spot is so that you can get to know and love comedians. And so today, the person you're going to get to know and love is Taifu Panda. And his intro goes like this. I travel for the Veterans of Comedy. The veteransofcomedy.com, as I aforementioned. He's an Army veteran, 14 years in comedy, and currently filming a short mini series. And his name is Taifu Panda, and he's going to be in this screen any second. He just clicked in. He may be having a little bit of some kind of issue clicking in or staying in. Maybe he wants to shake his phone like a Polaroid picture. I don't know. But, you know, we're not here to judge the internet. I figured that out like the first day it came out. We just do whatever the internet will let us do. That's right. And sometimes we have these little moments where you and I at home get to know each other a little bit better because the internet breaks down. You know, like for instance, here's my apartment. How would you have time for me to do the Vanna White thing about my apartment if Taifu Panda wasn't having trouble with his internet staying in here? So most people look at this and think this is fake. So when they say, is that real? I go over and I pick up, I think so. I think it is. I think so. I think this is real. That's my living room. I'll show you my kitchen. We never get time to do this. There's my kitchen. This refrigerator is way behind me. Here's my living room. I only knocked over a couple things. I have to put paper trash by the door. It's a thing we have here in Vegas with cockroaches. There's my Marilyn picture. I painted Marilyn's picture, her lips red. That was fun. We're still waiting for Taifu to get back in the room. And I'm going to go see if he's able to get in or if he's having too many technical difficulties. Let's take a look over here. And I'll type, are you having trouble? You wonder what the noise is out the front door? It's cars over at the convention center racing. Can you hear it? Yeah, that's what I get to listen to today. All day long, I get to hear that. I'm a lucky dog. One person is here watching. I don't know who's here. Here's back. Walking back to the computer right now to let him in. We'll see if it works this time. Now we learn how to pray. Here he is. Woo! Hi, Taifu.
All right, there you go.
There we are. Hi. I was
Hello.
practicing my improv skills.
Hey, that's all right. You got it. I heard.
I was trying. I'm doing my Vanna White. Oh my gosh. So, Taifu, I did your intro already.
Okay.
You're a veteran of the military and you travel with the Veterans of Comedy. You're a
Yes.
comedian for 14 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So let's go back in time first with you. Let's start with the cute little kid in the back of the room cracking jokes. That's where I see you. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I don't know about the cute part, but yeah, I was always cracking jokes. I don't know, in our school, you can either knock somebody out, play sports real good, or talk a lot of crap. So I had a big brother, so I didn't have to knock nobody out. And I was the youngest, so they wasn't picking me for the sports. And so I had to talk a lot of stuff. That was it.
Absolutely. Where did you grow up?
I'm South Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
In the suburbs of Kansas City, to be perfect.
The suburbs, wow.
Yep.
So is that like a ritzy area?
No, it ain't a ritzy area, nothing like that. My parents just loved me. That's how I always put it.
That's so special. Oh my gosh. So how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have an older brother, a younger sister, and I have a stepsister and two stepbrothers.
Wow.
So yeah, I got a pretty big family. Household wise to me.
So growing up, did your siblings and your parents and relatives and neighbors and friends in school know that you were that funny guy?
I don't know. I don't know about the family because everybody in my family is kind of crazy. But like with I think it was the girls who always knew that I was the funny one because I was always the funny friend. I wasn't the cute one. I wasn't the one to be with. I was just the funny friend.
Oh.
So so they knew, I guess.
Every girl secretly wants to be with a funny guy.
I wish somebody would have told them that when I was growing up then.
Did you ever get in trouble for being funny?
Yeah. All the time. All the time. I'm still getting in trouble to this day. I'm always telling jokes at inappropriate times, as so people would say. Yeah, kind of grew up in the church. Grew up in the church, so I'm always joking and everything else. So I'm always that kid getting popped in the back of the head and everything else. You know, kids tell the truth. So I'm always talking about someone or some adult or something like that. And my mom is popping me in the back of the head. My dad was a real serious guy, so he wasn't having no parts of it.
Wow. And so you go on through life and nobody really said, you're so fun. Nobody ever said to you, you're so funny, I bet you're going to be a comedian.
No, you know who got me started actually doing comedy was the late Ronaldo Ray.
Oh my gosh.
He was in Kansas City. My family knew his brother and everything else, so I didn't know. He was in town for a funeral, and he was at the club one night, and me and my family was out karaoke and all that other stuff, doing what families do. I guess we were just random night, And I got up in karaoke and stuff and just started acting a fool like I normally do. And he calls me over to the corner. I didn't even know he was in the club or whatever. So he calls me over. I'm like, oh, hey, you're not all right. Well, he's like, yeah, So he's like, hey, he said, hey, boy, tell me something about them guys over there throwing darts. So I just started roasting the guys throwing darts. And he said, that's real funny. He said, you a comedian? I said, nope. He said, you need to. He said, you need to find you a mic and just get up there. And I was like, huh, okay. I never thought about it. I was like, all right. I end up going to Stanford and Sons and to open mic, and it was just like doing drugs or something, man. It was like first time you up there and you get those laughs. That was it. I was hooked ever since. And then just trying to learn the craft of it. I'm still learning, but you know.
It's always, as an artist, you're never happy with your stuff. So, I don't think people understand. If you kill, people say, oh, you did great. And inside our heads, it's never good enough.
You are totally 100% right. I actually had a full ride scholarship to go to art school and draw. And I end up like throwing it away or whatever and joining the military instead. But you are definitely right about that. Everything I used to draw, I just throw it away. I'm like, they go, oh my God, that was cool, man. What'd you do with that picture? And you're like, I threw it away. I didn't like it, It was terrible.
Yes.
But to other people, they're like, oh my God, it was great. Comedy's been working the same way, where everybody's like, oh my God, man, that was a great set. And I'm walking off like, God, okay, I did this one wrong. This was backwards. I should have added this. I should have said this instead of that. You start analyzing everything up there. It's never perfect.
Never. And that's half of the fun. If we got it right every time, we'd probably quit.
I think so. I always said to myself, I said, I'm missing something, and I'll keep trying to find out what it is, but I hope I never find it. Because it keeps me reaching, so you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah. What's been the greatest thing about you starting? Oh, wait. So Ronaldo Ray, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
He tips you off that comedy might be your thing, and you go to a club and you start. And what was it like doing it for the first time as far as the nerves before you got up on stage?
The nerves never leave you. The nerves never leave you. Still always, I'm nervous before every show. The nerves never leave you. But I don't know. I always been able to like watch it and imitate people and do stuff like that. Like I haven't even did impressions on stage yet. I do impressions, but I haven't did them yet. But
wow, you're so good already without doing your impressions.
No, just everybody's doing it, and I don't want to. I'm always one that while everybody's going right, I'm going left. I'm that kind of kid. And I had when I got up there, I don't know. I was looking at everybody else do it. I was like, okay, all right, they can do it. I can do it. I'm like a guy. I love puzzles and stuff like that, figuring stuff out. Like I learned how to swim by just watching people. So fear, yeah, I don't really have one like that, other than great white sharks. But I'm in the Midwest and I'm scared of great white sharks. I'll figure that one out. I don't know. But so I just watch people go up on stage and I'm like, okay, all right. All I can do is be me. So after a while though, you still got to kind of learn some of the certain rules in comedy. Like I didn't know what a callback was. I didn't know nothing. I just got up there. I don't even know what the heck joke I even started with or told, but I didn't know how to structure jokes or take the fat out of stuff and none of those things. But I had 3 minutes. I did my 3 minutes. It worked out great. And then I just built from there, you know. And
When you write a joke, let's get into the joke writing that you do. How do you decide what you're going to write about? Because like with me, this is backwards, I know. I hear a punchline and I can't let go of the joke until I figure out how to make the punchline work. What do you do?
um I start out just like just writing, just think about my day, or I see the funny in everything. So I don't watch comedy at all, so I don't get tainted
Exactly.
with someone else's joke or premise. But I don't know. I think I just always try to find the funny. Like I roasted at my mother's funeral. I wrote, I wrote, I roasted my mother, I think, at her funeral. I just always just try to find the funny in everything, and then I always figure on stage bringing what I think is funny, to everyone else. That's about it. I mean, I don't have a specific like sit down and okay, I want to write about this subject or that subject. I know how everything makes me feel.
And
And
it comes out of you just having a good habit of writing on a daily basis.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Keep a journal and stuff like that. Like sometimes I don't look for the funny, like for a joke. I just write about my day. This would happen to me today. Um, for instance, my like teaching my grandson how to go to the potty, and we I'm sitting there peeing next to him, and he's pulling and stretching his stuff and and I'm looking at him like, now you didn't see me do any of that over here. Like, I don't know where you got that. He's pulling it like taffy, and I'm like, what? How are you seeing the world? Because none of that happened on this side of the toilet. None of that happened over here. So what's going on? So now it got me thinking about like stuff like that. To me is funny, and it's like it make you want to watch these kids cartoons to see what they really watching. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to sit down and watch some PJ Masks or something, because if they got you pulling and tugging on that thing or something, you watching the wrong shows. You know? But
Oh
I'll
yeah.
write that stuff down that happens, and then I'll go back and look at what I've written and my days and stuff, and then I'm like, okay, this was funny. Now how do I structure this into whatever I'm talking about or whatever I'm doing? Stuff like that.
I like that process. I've never done it that way. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, just keep a journal. Find the funny later.
Yeah.
It'll be there.
I
You know.
write, but I sit down to write jokes. I don't sit down to write about my day. I can't, I've never been able to stand doing it. It sounds like something a shrink would tell you to do.
Yeah, I understand. I do have a minor in psychology, but but yeah, I've never been one to keep a journal like that either. But I mean, it seems to work. It seems to
I'll
work.
do it.
Because think about all the stuff that happens in your day that's funny, and you'd be like, man, people probably wouldn't believe this, you
Exactly.
know. And then just write it down. Don't even have to be funny right now. Just write it down. This is what happened. You
There's
know.
something crazy that happened the other day that I need to write down first. Can I tell you what it was?
Yes.
So I'm walking down the sidewalk with a friend who's visiting from McAllen, Texas. Shout out. and we're walking down the sidewalk, and we come upon a bench, and there is a person sitting at the bench, leaning forward with his pant legs rolled up, and he's scooping up puddle water to wash his legs. And I didn't make any judgment. I had a bottle of water. I said, "Would you like to have some water?" And he says, "I'm not homeless." And I just can't get that out of my mind. How dare I think he was homeless?
Hey, I would have thought so too, because I would have been like, I know I'm not washing nothing in no just puddle of water, because first of all, I don't know how long that puddle's been there. I don't know what's in that puddle. I don't know if somebody created that puddle with whatever they had or whatever they was getting rid of. I don't know. I don't want to even imagine cleaning my skin or whatever with no puddle. Mm-mm. Call me bougie, whatever you want, but I'm not. No. You was right to assume that.
Oh, that's funny. I have to write it down so that I can make it funny, because it was like, you can't even come up with this in your mind that would ever be in. Who would ever think that somebody would be sitting at a bench scooping up puddle water to wash their legs?
Yeah,
I
I don't
couldn't have
know.
thought of that. What?
Maybe he had something on him or a cut or something. I don't know, but I still wouldn't do it either. Hell no. No, they can have that one. They can have that one. They see.
Pandemic or no pandemic, you're never going to see me doing
that. Yeah, never.
that. So talk to me about a couple of things. When you go into a comedy club, a place with the veterans of comedy, anywhere you're doing comedy, and before the show starts, what goes through your mind about reading a room? How does Taifu Panda do that?
I I like to see. I see what people when they come in. I kind of look at their mannerisms. I usually talk to people before the show. They don't know who I am sometimes, and then just try to read them that way, or just open up and go from there. Just treat it like a blank canvas. And I never write a set and say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, this is where I'm gonna go, this is what I'm gonna say. They'll just throw the timer and say, okay, you got 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Okay, that's all I need to know. And then I'll let the canvas paint itself.
No way, you can do that?
Yeah, I just let it paint itself. It's already in you. All your jokes is already there in you. What, to talk about. I'm a all over the place guy. I don't have segues or stuff like that. I'm an abstract artist in real life, and I'm an abstract artist on the stage too. You know, just because it's a square over here, it might be a circle over here. I'm just like that, and because I just talk about my experiences for the most part. That's it. You know, I like being like with the veterans of comedy. Even though I travel on my own, Typhoon Panda does travel on his own too. But I like traveling with them because it'd be in front of audiences that I probably wouldn't think to book or get in front of. And it'd be all ages from 8 to 80, different races, all kinds of races. So I love it because some of the places that we've been, like I could tell when I'm the only black in the whole town, because somebody will come up to me and be like, "Hey, you all right? Are you okay? Or are they treating you well?" And they'll let me know who the town like racist guy is. They'll be like, "Hey, Willie's a good guy. Okay, he's a great guy. All right, he doesn't mean any harm. Okay, he's really a good guy. He just says the N word a lot." No, so usually like when people approach me like this, I'll be like, oh, so he uses the word no a lot? Okay. I
He
try to
has the
tell people,
N-word Tourette's.
yeah, I try to tell no too. I try to say no to people too. But I that stuff like that opens me up to talk about race and stuff like that because I'm like, it don't have to be hateful or anything else. Like even what's going on now with the LGBTQ community and everything else, and when people joke about them and stuff like that, and it's like it's not hateful or you're not saying any. I tell jokes about women, but I don't mean I hate them. You know what I'm saying? I tell jokes about even like my mother, my father, my family member. I tell jokes about them. I don't mean I hate them. I mean, funny is just funny. It doesn't have to be hateful. I think a lot of people get offended, you know what I'm saying, about people telling jokes because they feel like they're at the butt end of the joke. And of course, nobody likes to be laughed at, but you should learn to laugh. So I try to get rooms to, we in here laughing together. You know, you like I tell jokes about handicap, everything. I have autism that runs in my family. I do autistic jokes. I did an autistic joke at the Air Force ball. Everybody laughing, had a good time, even ones that had autistic children and things like that. What I got an email over and what I caught slack on was I was talking about allergies.
No.
After out of all that, I'm talking about amputees, handicap, everything else. And I get I get bitched out about allergies. That
Those
was the
people
worst
with
thing.
allergies are the most sensitive people in the world.
Yeah, I know. My daughter's very sensitive. She's got allergies. And the lady was upset with me because, well, the joke was just about, you know, us growing up, people like over 40 and 39 or whatever, where our parents just made one pot. That was it. And we didn't have us our parents cooking fish because you was allergic to chicken or you don't eat meat or you just didn't eat. You ate what was cooked. That was it.
Nobody had allergies. Nobody.
Exactly. So the thing is that and that was really just a joke. And she was upset with me and she's like her kid had a peanut allergy and I was like, my kid has a peanut allergy. Uh, and it doesn't matter. I was like, why are you laughing at one joke? Somebody else is upset and cringing on the other side, and the same vice versa. If we catered to everyone that was offended, then we wouldn't be telling jokes at
Exactly. That's
all.
so true. So true. And like a lot of the great comedians that have come before us don't apologize.
Yeah,
You know, and the
and
minute we start backing down, we might as well quit doing comedy.
I apologized one time in my career, and I said I'd never do it again. I shouldn't have, but I did it for a friend. I was with another fellow comic, and I didn't want really her upset with me. But I'm never gonna apologize again. If I said it, I meant it. I'm just a firm believer that, like, you know how people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm this that." I'm not gonna apologize for anything I did wrong, even in the past, because it's like that's probably how I was feeling at that time. I'm sorry that I was feeling that way at the time, but that's what it was. If
Too
I
late.
if I, if I called you out your name, if I said something hurtful or something, I probably meant it out of that out of anger, or whatever. But that's how we was feeling at that time.
It's a good point.
That's just it.
You'll go nowhere if you're always looking in the rear view mirror apologizing for what you could have done better. Just try to be better today.
That's it. That's all I can do. You know, that's all I can do. I notice a lot of media is going back to Comics Pass and things about that. And I'm pretty sure I've said some insensitive jokes and stuff like that. I hope Bill Cosby or R. Kelly never sees my set. But 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 at the same time, hey, look, it is what it is. It was funny. It made somebody. I always think if I make one person feel good about their day, because you never know what somebody's going through,
Yes.
and if I can make one person walk out of there uplifted, I did my job. I'm great. I'm good. I'm cool with that.
Yes, absolutely. The thing that I cringe at when you go to open mics is comics going, I hate Italians, or I hate Catholics, or it's like, oh God, that's hate speech. I mean,
Yeah,
that maybe you shouldn't do.
yeah. I don't do the hate thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess we all hate something because we Americans. Because I hate vegetarians. I love my daughter, but she vegetarian people are the worst.
Oh my gosh. So, do you have any jokes in your repertoire that you love and you refuse to get rid of them and they get lackluster results?
Um. Ooh. I don't. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have anything that that I would get rid of. I just try to do something new all the time. That's all. Every time you see me, it's gonna be something added new, something done different, that's old or whatever. But I don't think I have anything that bad or anything where it's like, that joke probably is you should retire. The
Yeah.
only thing I retire jokes is if they're stolen from
Wow. So, how often have you had jokes stolen from you?
me.
Oh, too often.
Yeah, a lot,
Wow.
a lot. And that's what makes me start. I start taping myself now on my phone. So because I've had a lot of jokes stolen.
People shouldn't do that. Oh my gosh. Write your own jokes, people.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch comedy or anything like that. So I know that that's mine. That's me. I didn't see it on special or anything like that. Uh, Comedy is funny. It be putting me to sleep watching other people. I tried to watch the Dave Chappelle thing, went to sleep.
Wow.
That
So,
was it.
I was accused of trying to steal jokes one time at a comedy club because I had written to this girl, a big girl, and all her comedy is about being a big girl. And I said I couldn't, like I think us women should support each other instead of tearing each other down. So I
Mhm.
wrote her and I said, I can't wait. I'm going to be in the back of the room watching you 7 nights in a row because that's where I work and I get to stay and watch for free. And I had my phone plugged in, so it lit up. It was charging, and she saw the light on my phone from the stage, like 250 people, and she sees the phone light on my phone and accuses me behind my back that I'm videotaping her. How am I going to use all her shtick that's about being morbidly obese?
Yeah.
I can't. That makes no sense at all. Why would I take those jokes?
Some people be nervous like that. Some people are like so nervous that they, I don't know, they just think that, oh my God, I had so much gold that, you know, everybody's trying to steal my gold here. It's like, no. I was trying to read the menu.
What
This
is
was
the
not about,
proudest moment in your comedy life, Taifu?
hmm. Uh, I would probably have to say probably the first time my dad got to see me on stage. That was real big, because my mother never got to see me on stage at all. But that probably be the biggest, you know, just having.
Was he real warm and responsive about it?
Yeah. Because I did talk about him, but it was that was probably the biggest. Probably having my dad there. I would have said my grandmother, but the first time my grandmother see me, I don't cuss around or use profanity at all around my parents or my grandmother and aunt and them. And I tried to be clean for the first time. But because I didn't really know how to structure a joke, I didn't know how to be clean. So it was terrible. It was so terrible. My grandmother was like, don't you had me come out for this? And she almost like gave me a job right there. She was like, your cousin's job is hiring. Like, that if you go home and go to sleep right now, you can be working for Ford. You can just because that right there, she said that wasn't good at all. My family will tell you the truth. If it sucks, if you trash, you just trash. She gonna tell you. All of it, my cousins, everybody, they will tell you you are like, no, this is terrible. And I mean, she hit me like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this, and don't ever invite me out to nothing like this again. This was terrible,
Did
you
you get
know.
to turn that around and have her
Yeah.
back?
Oh yeah. I definitely turned it around. I turned it around. It was crazy because I asked permission. I was like, "Is it okay if I'm cussing if you come to a show or use profanity or something?" And nothing real harsh or anything, but I was just like, okay. So then I had to learn to be clean. I had to learn that process. But just like be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta. You grown. And I was like, okay. So if I got the approval, it felt like to just like it's like the handcuffs was off. I was able to go and explore and do. So it was better. It turned out a lot better. Even doing churches and stuff like that. Even my colleagues looked at me crazy. I had stood in for another comic at a church event, and the comics on the show see me walk in the door. They was like, "Oh my God, you out of all the comedians, you, oh, I gotta see this." So they start calling up other comics to come and see this. They was thinking they was gonna see a train wreck. And they was like, okay, we want to see this. And they all just looking at me like, when do you go up? What time do you go up? What's going on? We hurry up and got here. We need to see this. You are about to do the church. They almost damn near placing bets that I was gonna say something very, very inappropriate, but little did they know I grew up in the church. So and I was just like, okay. I went out, I did the thing. They was like, okay, wow, all right. And then from there on, they know that they can call me to do any type of show.
Wow.
So
I'd love to see you do the church. We have a lady in Portland, Oregon that can go very clean and very dirty. And either way, she's a hit.
yeah, definitely.
I love that. What's the very next thing that you're looking forward to, next step where you want to go with your comedy?
Uh Getting on the just really just the travel, getting on the circuit, start hitting these towns and places where they know you and like, oh my God, I heard of you. I heard, and getting that buzz going. I've been to a few places where they was excited to see me, and I ain't gonna lie, I love that feeling. I love it.
Totally. That's such a great feeling, huh?
Yes, especially for narcissists.
Um,
Yes, that is a
what's the
great thing.
craziest thing you've witnessed go down at a comedy show before, during, or after?
I would have to say during I was at a spot in St. Louis, Missouri, and they're like, "Is this?" His name is Jesse Taylor. Shouts out Jesse. And he had the Laugh Lounge in St. Louis area, and he used to run this room to where it was like, I mean, it was rowdy. You got 3 minutes, and if you don't make them laugh in 3 minutes, you got to get off. Oh, and they're gonna talk about you. So I did 10 minutes there, so I did good. But toot 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 beep beep. But anyway, this other comic gets up there, and I watched the lady step on a chair, step on the table, and stepped on the stage, and told him, said, "You're trash. Give me the mic. You suck. You need to quit." And the guy's like, "Hey man, what?" He's like, "Girl, what you doing?" He trying to pull away from the mic, and she snatched the mic from him, and everybody's like, "Yay, get him off. He is terrible. He's trash." I'm like, man, they gave him the business. And I'm looking around. This is before I go up. So I'm looking like, you have committed to this already. So you're already in. So whatever you do, you better make it funny. That was just all I kept telling myself. You better make it funny. And the easier thing for a comic to do would be to go up and talk about that situation and get the laugh and the support and just like, oh yeah, yeah, he feels the way we do. But I didn't bring any attention to it. I went out and slayed it and just did me, you know. But now, though, now I'm talking about you. If you're a comic and you do horrible up there, I'm gonna talk about you. That's that's just it. I feel like I'm being myself, getting to my roots by doing that anyway. So I'm pretty good at the dozens and roasting people. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing.
How did you get the name Taifu Panda? Is that your given birth name?
No, 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 not at all. You know what the funny thing about having the Tafu Panda name? I was at the Broadway comedy club out there in New York, and I'm sitting in the room, and the guy goes to the owner. He says, "The Taifu Panda guy didn't show. He he said he looks in there. He said it's not an Asian in the room." And if you ever been in the Broadway comedy club, it's kind of like a small, swanky, like you know, you have that nice like '60s cigar lounge like feel in there, and like somebody like I should be crooning this for crooners or something like the Rat Pack or Anyway, he looks in there. He says, "Not an Asian in the room. I don't. The Tafu Panda guy didn't show." I was like, that's me. He said, "I'm so sorry." He said, "I was not expecting a 6 foot some guy, black guy, you know, as Tafu Panda. You know, the crazy thing, I got the name because I used to just go by Ty. I just had Ty. That was it. And because my real name is Tyreek. And I had went by Ty. And next thing you know, some guy was talking crazy to me. Before, our comics, we gather up before shows and stuff like that. And the guy was talking crazy to me, man. And I was like, hey, look, you can say whatever you want to say over there, man. I'm fine. So I used to teach kung fu, and one of my students, I didn't know he was a comedian, And he comes up there, and the guy's talking crazy. He said, he looks, he says, "Are you talking to him?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm talking to Ty. And I know who I'm talking to, piece of crap." And he's just giving me the business. And he said, "You gonna let him talk to you like this?" I said, "Look, I don't care what he said. I'm okay." I said, I'm older now, and maybe when I was younger, I'd probably be over there doing something, but I'm cool." So he's like, "Dude, you talking to him? He'll like kill you with like one finger." And he had like my kung fu business cards on him. So he gives him one of the cards. The show starts or whatever. After the show, the guy comes up to me. Well, before the show, since he gave him the card and everybody's talking now, like, "Hey, I didn't know that he did that." So when they introduced me on the show, he was like, "You like Kung Fu Panda, I guess, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I used to do Kung Fu. I used to teach whatever." And he's like, "Coming to the stage, Thai Fu Panda." And Brad Ellis introduced me as Thai Fu Panda, and it just stuck. And now they're starting to catch a little fire, but people look at it like, "Oh, that's weird," but it was a whole thing behind that. It wasn't just, I just named myself that. I wasn't
Yeah.
looking for any type of stage name, if you will, or anything like that. It just happened, you
Yes.
know,
And
and
that's the best way. That's like people going out looking for a stage name is ridiculous. It should come to you.
yeah, yeah, and that's exactly what happened. It came to me. I don't know, it fits. I like it. And then the gray hair started coming in, so now definitely like a panda, I guess.
Yeah. And
Got the
like people will go and look for their persona. And that's like chasing your tail. You're never going to get it. Your persona should find you. That's how I feel.
Yeah, yeah. It was real natural, and it felt good. I
Yeah,
like it.
I love that. So, where can people catch you performing in the next couple weeks? And then tell everybody your social media as well, please.
Okay. Well, I'll be in Cameron, Missouri. We're doing a benefit fundraiser for military families and everything else for the holidays. Um, Also, that'll be in Cameron, Missouri. Then from there, be at the Comedy Zone in Philadelphia, and then Myrtle Beach, and home. I'll be New York, Philly, and then Myrtle Beach, then home.
Where are you going to be performing in New York?
New York, we gonna play that one by ear and just go up there and just probably try to get into Carolines. I always wanted to do Carolines. I don't know why. I know it's bigger venues out there, whatever, but Carolines, been wanting to do that one.
So, there's a lady at Caroline's named Linda Smith, who's the booker.
Hmm.
So, you can look her up. And that's why I go by Linda Marcus Smith, because she told me she didn't want me out there being Linda Smith, too.
Oh, okay.
So you
I
can
didn't.
find, she'll send her your stuff. She's on Facebook.
Okay. All right. Hey, I appreciate it. Will said, he know. I'm pretty sure he probably know her because he was like he can probably get us on in the Carolines. But even though there's bigger venues out there, Carolines just stick out to me. It just, I don't know, something about the energy. It's just like, I want to do Carolines. You
Yeah.
know.
And have you guys ever done Gotham Comedy Club? That would be a great venue for them to see you two go at it with a real big audience. It's a great room.
Yeah, as what Will has done Gotham, but I haven't done Gotham at all. So I look forward to getting out there to doing some of those clubs. I think I'll be able to leave it enough impression to where they want me back.
Yeah, definitely. Well, where do you want people following you on social media, Taifu?
It's Taifu Panda on everything, on all social media sites. TAIFU Panda. I'm on all social media sites. I'm on all dating sites. I just want my name there. I'm on I'm on everything.
I was gonna go on dating sites, but people can smell desperation, so I don't.
Maybe that's why I haven't got hit back yet.
What?
Maybe that's why I haven't got a call back. No, but I'm looking like a lost puppy in my pictures or something. I'm looking for a room. Please.
I love the nostril shots you get of guys where you see their nose hairs. Oh my gosh. Would you like to close out the show by saying anything to younger comedians behind you or people who go to comedy clubs? Anything?
For younger comedians, I'll say just create relationships. You know, our community is great, is welcoming, you know, and I think for comedians it's a definite the old saying, who you know, not what you know, you know. So make as many friends as you can, create great relationships. It's gonna last forever. It's great going to different cities, being able to hook up with comedians and stuff like that in our community. And like, oh man, I remember, man, when we first met, you know, that's always good. It's good for your career. And people that are going to comedy clubs to see comedy, let your hair down, relax. You know what I'm saying? You're off work, you know.
The boss
Um,
isn't watching. He doesn't care if you laugh. HR isn't looking at you.
yeah, yeah, let your hair down and just laugh. If it's funny, it's funny. If it's not, then it's just not. But I mean, don't ever be offended that you are not the target. the
That's so
the
true.
whole objective is not to see who we can piss off or anything like that, you know, because what you laughing at, somebody else is crying.
Yeah, the whole point is to get people laughing. That's why we do this, right?
That's it. We are the last of the freedom of speech, free thinking people.
Yes, we can't let go of it.
Can't.
No. Thank you so much for coming on and opening up your life and your heart for comedy. And I also want to tell you two things. Thank you for your service. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And
Thank you.
thank you for 14 years of sacrifice. All the things you've had to put on the back burner to make people laugh. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda, for having me.
It's our time. We had our time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you and have a great rest of your day. And I'll go post this. And that's it. That's all there was to the interview. You did a great job. And now you can come back anytime you want and plug anything you want.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All righty. Thank
All right.
you. Bye,
Bye.
Taifu Panda.
Bye.
Bye.